welcome back to another video, where today we are going to be doing another layout update video. Now then, the two trains that are currently operating is my 43002 Sir Kenneth Grange and my LNER Class 91, which is sporting the current amount of carriages that I currently have due to how expensive they are. Anyway, today I'm going to be giving you a great look into all the new things that I've been doing on my layout since we last spoke, which is probably about 6 months ago since the last layout update was. So let's best get into it as soon as these lovely trains have passed. Over here, let's see what has currently changed. So a big thing that you can firstly see is I had a rough attempt, so it's not the best at the moment, but seeing where the street marks would be. Obviously so quite abrupt is that, but I will be trying to watch other videos and stuff on how to make it. But the more noticeable thing is there is now a wall that spans the entire length of this currently raised section up to about here. And yes, it does have some gaps where you can see the different sections where the card wasn't long enough. I'm thinking of possibly building like little pillars like you see on the Metcalf card kit versions of walls, and maybe building them to sort of sit in front of those gaps. As you can see, if I just put you down to about here, if you were just watching trains, that already makes it look a lot nicer with that wall spanning across. Now, another thing is, I have these, you can see, a signal. Now, it's not an operational signal. If I just grab it for a moment and show you, it is sort of like, well, it's not sort of like, it is a fake signal, but it's currently just sitting there to see how it would look if I had an actual working signal there. But in all fairness, it does look quite nice and pretty detailed for just like a bit of plastic. I've also put one of these like transformer box things, as you can see just behind it, so acting as if, you know, they needed to report something if a train was there, or maybe communication from the depot or something to that signal. So then, if we move down past the wall, we now reach up to the embankment that I've been building. Now, obviously, as you can see, it's a bit rough at this end where it currently abruptly stops. I have also put a bit of ballast on that bit, but that's all waiting until I've got this backboard here properly fixed against it, so there isn't a gap just between it. And also I've probably paint that a nice light blue or something, possibly a blue or maybe bluey white to match with the other backboard over here. But anyway, as you can see, the hill, decent. It's like a bit of a cliff sort of edge sort of style, and it sort of just flattens out and smoothens out as you become flat to the baseboard down here. As you can see, I've got a bit of grass down as well. I would like to go over it with some different types of grass to really mix it up and maybe try and help do something to this back wall. Obviously maybe try and eliminate those bits of white, but to really make it look a bit more nicer. But if I do go down to here, as you can see, that already makes things look a lot nicer than before, where you just had the big open cuts in the back. There is also this little bit of a hill here. Now, I did have the thought of maybe having a little engine shed there, but then it sort of creates this nice V-shape or U-shaped valley with this going down here, this this side of the hill going down here into the base, which is where the tracks are, and then it slopes up again at that end, creating a nice U or V shape of a valley. Now then, as you can see, it is still awaiting grass. I currently haven't got any glue, so all things have halted until I can get some more glue. But it does look really nice. And if I just show you the other side, I have tried to do. On this side of the hill, you can see all like this, the underneath of it. I use this blue foam because it's really easy and smooth to cut. But I've painted it a bit brown to sort of blend it in. If I just come out of it, as you can see, it sort of blends in a bit better than it was before because it was really bright blue. But there will be a board or something covering up this gap so it will like run flush with the hillside running up there. But if I go down to here, as you can see, that makes looking down there towards the tunnel a lot more natural and complete, if you will. If I just zoom you in there, you can just imagine trains hurtling out of there. And then, well, maybe not hurtling, but coming around there and racing through this corner and obviously off into the station over here. Now then, over here, as you can see, the grass now comes up all the way up and follows this nice point work here and up to the curve join just here. Whereas before it just finished about here, but now I have fully completed it all the way up to here, and it creates a nice atmospheric and more field, edge of field like coming up to the railway. I have also ballasted all along here with the track now going up there. Now the track work on here is going to be a lot brighter and more colourful, as heritage lines tend to be, because this will lead up to my heritage line, which as you can see runs across the top of that wall and then will curve around the top of there, and it will be sat on top of the fiddle yard just there at the back. Moving on, we now have a wall in. I'm not too sure on the wall yet because it's comes with this grass, as you can see here, built onto it, but the grass is slightly different to the colour of the grass I currently have down. It also has these giant gaps between the walls. These all came in one kit together, and having those great big gaps between them means we're either going to have to fill them, or we could just leave them, because obviously not all walls are perfect. But I don't tend to see walls with great big gaps every few, maybe probably meters or something. Well, also another sad thing is they've got this giant moulding here that's just sticking out of one of the walls, and obviously it's quite stiff and hard to cut off with just a general knife or something like that. So I may use some flexible wool so I can then move, and obviously they align a lot better. And then moving on over to the engine shed. As you can see, I have filled in those potholes that were in the road last time. We no longer have potholes to grey baseboards. We also have nicely painted brown now in between the tracks, so you can clearly distinguish where the ground would be quite muddy or uneven in the yard, which spans all the way around and encompasses the entire depot area now. We also have here the depot platform area, sort of like the flat concrete area that comes flat to the tracks as you would see in depots. We have built it out of this like flat foam piece of board that was originally the entire underneath of this layout. built it out of that, and when I get some like dirt scatter, I'm going to try and build it up so it's flush with that and we don't get this great big gap or steep incline bit there. So the dirt will go where all the brown is on the depot. If I just look over here like that, it really does make the depot seem a lot more in fit with the whole area. And then if we just move on up to the town, not much has happened to the town yet, but hopefully I will start doing some work in the coming year on the town. Most of the focus has obviously been on doing this, which obviously just sitting from here, seeing two express trains, 91 on the left and the HST on the right, it really does make the whole layout look great, especially if I just do that. You can clearly see the heritage line going off there in the top, the new hill up there, the end really all makes it and ties it all together, and with a little bit of a cheeky C of the wall over there. So then, that's pretty much it. All that's changed this time. So then, that pretty much concludes up today's layout update video. As you can see, a lot of progress has been made today. Well, not exactly just today, but over the last 6 months, building this hill, this little embankment just here, the ballast here, painting all here, the grass, and that wall over in the back. All those put together really does make this whole side on this nice corner and straight into the tunnel more complete and looking a lot nicer. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing because more content of this layout will continue in the future with more layout updates, more themed running sessions or general running sessions, and obviously more reviews of things like the 91 as we've seen, and these spectacular carriages or new locomotives coming in the future. For now then, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.